Praise Yah as always. That's number one. Praise Yah as always. That's number one. Welcome in. So today I want to talk about drum programs a little bit. MPC3 has been out a while as a public beta for all of us to actually see what the truth is behind drum programs. I think for a while there was a misconception that drum programs were no longer a thing because they switched the program edit into track edit, and it does work a little bit differently. So when people made statements like that before it was out, I thought, really? Okay, they're gone. That's crazy. But even so now, people are still saying that. I don't know where it's coming from, if it's coming from people who kind of refuse because that's what they heard, or if it's still coming from people that have done the public beta upgrade to MPC3, see how it works, and still are saying this because what they're really talking about is the way that programs work and how you can use them. So because they do work differently, the thing is, you can load programs into a track, but you can't load programs into the RAM and have a bunch of different programs floating around in your project and like go into your track and then switch through those different drum programs. So it doesn't work that way anymore. But I was looking at it yesterday, and I noticed a little thing that I believe MKII kind of predicted that people would be upset, and they've set this up kind of in a way as sort of a workaround in a way, but they've got it set up when you're in your browser. I'll just jump into it in a second here, that you can kind of cycle through your stuff, through your programs. Although it's probably not going to be what convinces those of you who work that way, who have like project with tons of programs in them. So anyone in the chat, I do like to get a little bit of a feedback, make sure everything seems okay. It looks good on my end. So I don't know if this is going to be the convincing point, but I do have an idea on how this and one little feature request improvement that I have that came to mind that would maybe actually convince people, for those of you who really are like staying on 2.15, or I hear 2.15.1, which I heard is they actually upgraded 2.15. It's good to hear that that hasn't been abandoned for MPC3. So it sounds like they're still doing some bug fixes. I don't know exactly what 2.15.1 has added. But anyways, my thoughts, not to get too sidetracked, I do that quite a bit, is yeah, I've got a feature request after I show you this little way this thing behaves now. And I'm unsure, but I think it would maybe convince a few of you who are like, nah, I need to have multiple programs in my projects because that's how I work. For me, it's not a problem, but I'm looking at this to kind of like try to understand that perspective of people who create that way, because everyone creates differently, and there's a group of people that likely create that way. Me, I really don't make use, and it sounds cool, I think I might explore that. I don't make real great use of all the space. Like I'll literally use one drum program in one bank when you got all these different banks here. All right, so I'm gonna go in to my browser and load up a drum program just to begin with. So I'm headed over here to my sample packs. I'm going to go into my pack because I got a bunch of drum kits that are laid out in the same way. Because this is my thought process, is that when people say they like to kind of sift through different programs, is that they have them laid out in a similar way so they can just like preview in the context of your beat while you already have like a drum sequence playing along with a sample or something. So I'm gonna go in here and I'll just load up the first one of my kits. I got 10 of these in here. But also one thing that I did include here, I didn't do too many of these, but in this pack there's 4 MPC patterns. So I'm gonna load this one up. It's called Boom Pattern. So if I load that up, press play, I got a drum pattern. So I'm gonna go back out and go over here to my kits. So I got a list of kits. So I could go just scroll down and load, right? And then hear a different kit. And one thing that's cool about that is the way that it works now, I like, is that it replaces the kit and the samples. So if I go, like if you go in the menu and project and you look at the samples that you have here, these are, well, okay. I had some extra samples that were a part of, you know, like when MPC3 loaded up for the first time, Akai had a drum kit in there. So I made a template over that for some reason, and those samples were still there. But anyways, what it really does is, I'll go back in and show you. If I load up a different kit, and then I go to menu, project, it has replaced that kit and it's completely replaced the samples. I like that because it keeps the memory low, right? So you're not gonna run out of space, and you don't have to come back in here, delete every program, and then hit purge. So I like the way that behaves. But if you're coming from that place where you like to have a bunch of different programs and cycle through them, like so you can hear what they sound like, what they've done here is they've added like a load functionality to the plus and minus symbols. So when I press plus, it's gonna scroll down, right? And then it's gonna automatically load. So I don't have to go turn this knob and then hit load. So if I go like this and I just scroll through them, it's kind of in a way mimicking maybe that style of producing where you have multiple programs in your project. Of course, it's a bit slower because you got to wait for it to load. Right? But I perceive that Akai kind of had some forethought about how, or I don't know when they implemented this, at what point, after people were maybe complaining about it. But this is kind of a consolation prize, I guess. So I can just go through and really kind of preview it, although there's a gap between it loads in that little space where I can't hear anything. So, but my thought is, with this and with disc streaming now, and this little feature request that I'm gonna suggest in a second, this could be pretty much just like how you work by having a bunch of programs in your project. It could work the same way if disc streaming is applied, if they add this disc streaming feature. So if you look at this I haven't tried the disc streaming yet, but if you look at sample assign, so in the menu screen, you press sample assign and you look at your samples. If you press and hold, you get two options. You can delete the sample or you can hit stream from disk. All right. So I think it pretty much purges it from the RAM. As you see it, I no longer see it there. See the crash, and it's just referencing, or no, I just put it down there. But I can see the icon has changed to like this light green color. So that is an indicator that it's now streaming rather than in my RAM. Okay. So, I don't know how much I'm actually going to use that. Like, I don't really run into too many problems. I think a better use as a feature request, and maybe if I can stop being lazy, I'll go find the forum to actually submit these, but I kind of just like doing the streams in hopes that Akai just hears the shit and takes the idea. Or some of y'all go, oh yeah, I like that idea, let me go request it, let me go submit it in a form. But I think it would be much better if they did a per track, like somewhere in, not track view, but in track edit, a per track icon where you can select disk stream for an entire program. Oh, but it wouldn't be for program, it'd be for the entire track. So in that case, any samples that I'm loading will then be streamed. But now that I think of it, I don't know if that would eliminate the load times, because would it still have to load? No. So yeah, that would be the idea if it could be implemented on the track, a per track disk streaming option. So like whenever I click one of these, rather than have the load time, it'll just stream them immediately, you know? So that's really my thoughts on the program thing, to kind of be a little more inclusive of people that have a different kind of workflow, you know? So what are you guys' thoughts on this so far? I'm kind of curious to hear, like, how do y'all work with programs? Do any of y'all work like that, where you like to have, do you have like a template that already has a bunch of programs in it that you like to sift through, like go-to stuff? Me, I always start from scratch. I just have a template with an empty drum program on it, with like certain mute groups set up and a few settings, you know? So that's how I work every time, because I like things to be real clean. My project doesn't have anything in it that I don't need or don't use at all. So yeah, those are my thoughts. And I think that would be so much better if there is, I don't really find myself going into like, how practical or efficient is it for me to have to go into sample assign, click and hold every single sample that I want to stream. Like, I would like the ability to just stream everything, you know, and even like have that set up in a template where I don't have to every time determine that what samples I want to be streaming from the disk. I mean, wouldn't it be just possible to just even do a global kind of thing, like an option in preferences where just have everything streaming? Or is there, I don't know like the technological implications behind all that. Like, would that not run properly if we just had an option to stream everything? But what is good, chat? Philip, what is good? Thanks for coming in. This 3.0 version is growing on you despite the flaws. Me too. It's just got a lot of UI things and like navigation things, like with the track, with the mixer and stuff, that I just prefer. So I'm kind of putting up with the fact that multiple occasions I've turned my MPC on and it is frozen on the MPC startup screen, or multiple occasions where I load up and my plugins are missing and I have to just go press reactivate, like on all of them. Brandon Knight, what is good? If you're asking about the kit, yes, I forgot. I got to get better at this. My plan is to make these little ad videos I can just queue up when I'm talking about them. But the samples that you've heard are available. It should be the link in the top of the description. Lift the Noise Stole These Sounds is $10, or if you want to contribute a little bit more, it is a pay-as-you-want type of platform. All right, and then I also have another pack over there. I've got a couple packs up. The other pack that I have up there is a little bit older. It is a Lifted Noise Vinyl One-Shot Program kit. Yeah, just click on it here. So this is purely all vinyl samples, just raw, directly, really not any processing. 38 instrument key groups. They're one-shots. Some of the programs have like 3 samples in there that I did this little technique to get multiple samples out of it. I can get 3 out of them. That's what I did. But they're like, you know, just like acoustic samples. They're raw. They're really raw. It's kind of the little spice to throw in, you know, maybe with your other instrument plugins and stuff. And then it's got a few drums, 55 drum samples and all sampled from vinyl. That's an all vinyl kit. To talk about this one again, to go over it, this is 10 drum kits with actual drum programs. Other one doesn't have drum programs. It does have key group programs. This kit also has key group programs, some which have been sampled from vinyl, all which have been processed to sound like they come from vinyl. And you get 47 one-shot instrument samples there, 70 drum samples there, all laid out like a finger drumming kit that I have set up, you know, like this. So it's good to set up your programs. I think your drum programs all the same, like have them consistent so that you can do, you know what I mean, that easy switch up in those patterns. Like start saving your patterns too. So there's 4 of those included in there. So I can go and let me go down and load up another one, see what it sounds like. Slightly different there. I'll keep that one up. All right, so yeah, we're just chilling and chatting now. That's all I was really gonna go over. I think maybe I'll see if I can find a sample of this record and chop it over this drum break, this drum beat here. Okay, let's see some stuff I haven't seen before. SimCity Big World. They took away my favorite icon button. Is that like within the sound section? Is that what you're talking about? The sounds? Where's my sound button? Can't even see my sound button. Oh, there it is. So is this what you mean? Well, there's still the favorites right here. So I'm not sure what you mean. They took away my favorite icon button. What icon was that, man? What's up with a range mode tutorial? I have a few expansion programs I use. I don't know. I haven't been in the mode of making videos lately. I've just been wanting to do these streams, but like I kind of do it in cycles. I'll do like a binge of streaming and then I'll do a good set of videos, but we'll see. I'm still learning it. I don't want to do a tutorial while I'm still learning something, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm here doing these live streams and just hangouts and figuring it out, learning from y'all. But if I do figure out enough and some, you know, want to make it, if I feel compelled to make a tutorial, I might. But there's plenty of NPC guys out here doing these. I think Malo Beats even put out I think he might have put out a Ranger video today, or was it I think Craig's Motel. I started watching that. I didn't go all the way through it, but yeah. I don't know. I'll always come back to probably doing tutorials and sharing what I learned, but it's not my #1 priority, you know. Shoot. Alexandros was good. BJ2 Mill. I like it. They gotta give me back track mute proper though. I believe there's like a track mute setting in the preferences where you can like record track mutes or something. I'm not sure exactly what everybody is missing with the track mute thing. I like how it works now. I definitely think it should be an option so that everybody, you know, so like the MP workflows. SFG, hope your day is going well for you. Shit at YouTube, man. It always kind of slow starts, man. I wish I was more of a morning person, but I've always had night shifts, so it takes me a little minute to get started. Especially a little sleep, you know, start to drag even more. I love it. plugins like Fabric Excel. Yeah, it is streaming for the plugins. I think my stream is starting to lag a little bit. How did you get favorite instrument button? So the instrument button, right, is just in the menu, or the sounds button. And then when you look at the, sorry, I gotta put the overhead so you can see it. Let me stop that for a second. So menu, sounds button, right? And then at the bottom left corner, there's a tab. If you look at it at the tab that says sounds, there's 2 lines on it, meaning there's 2 pages. So when you click that, it goes to favorites, and then you can, right, press and hold. But I'm not on a plugin currently. Oh, Live 2 does not have a retro, man. This is definitely a skin on this. Yeah, so that I agree with you, man. That's the reason I was saying disc streaming. Back before plugins was around, I was saying disc streaming so that we could have them for key groups. You know, and now that they have these instrument plugins for standalone, now I'm saying, yeah, it should be for those, because you still have that lag that we could definitely do without. It does interrupt the flow, the workflow a bit, because just like people would be using drum programs all loaded up in their project to sift through to see what sounds they like, and in the context of whatever beat they're making. Same process goes for using key groups and instrument plugins. And when you could do it faster if you with key group programs back in 2.15, right? But with instrument programs, you get that little break, man. It's like a 1 to 2 second interruption of silence. It's not good. What is PS5 Pro? You talking about like an actual PlayStation? Can't wrap my head around arrangement mode. Yeah, I don't think it's what, if you're used to using a DAW, go watch Crate's Motel video, because I watched the intro to that and he confirmed what I was thinking, because I haven't looked too deep into it, that you don't, like, if you look at it, you don't really have, there's not much you can do here. You can't click and move stuff around here. If you want to move stuff around, you still got to pull up the grid view. And I think he pretty much confirmed that, and that's as far as I know. There's stuff you can do by pressing and holding here. Like you can copy track, copy events, double speed, half speed. See, what does half speed do? Cuts. Yeah. That's cool. That's an interesting tool to have there, and you can like double speed it. Quantize, you can bounce the sample. So this is what someone mentioned as a workaround, because since people have been saying, and I agree, that the MIDI should be blocked so that you can move them around with ease. Someone in my comments mentioned, I don't know if I replied back to you, but the workaround would definitely be, and this is useful, to bounce the sample. Hadn't actually tried that yet, but it doesn't bounce it in play. So, but that should have been created like a, yeah, I created a bounce of my MIDI there. I don't need. I wonder if there's a bounce in place thing. Bounce to audio track. You can do that. And then if I scroll down, I can see I've got a new audio track. You gotta remember to mute this out then, I guess. How do you mute? I don't know how to mute from here. Just mute. So now I could, if I wanted to, but it's kind of pointless to try to arrange in here, I think. I don't know if anyone, well, anyway, that's what dude was saying in the comment section. He bounces the audio and then arranges with the audio, because then you technically have the blocks. But I mean, you're locked up to whatever recordings you have. You don't have the freedom to really do too much there. I'm done with consoles. PC Master Race. The track mutes are now audio and not MIDI. Oh, okay. So that's the reason why it's causing like the reverb cut off. So when you press mute, the reverbs get cut off and all that. They wowed him with the price for little improvement, and that's based on develop. Yeah, I'm lost in all that conversation. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go over that. Audio, not MIDI. See, I need to see it in action. Yeah, I think that's what they mean, BJ 2 mil, is that what I heard like a couple days ago when I was streaming, someone was saying when you mute, it cuts off your reverbs, and then you don't want that. Like you want your reverb tail to continue, otherwise it's going to be an abrupt change, and that's going to sound not good. SimCity, big world for sure, bro. Go live, man. You got the time, opportunity comes up, do it for sure. If I see the notice, I'll pop in for a minute. Yeah. Buck 88 Keys was good. Change your icon, man. Copy events and merge is another way to move notes on the arranger. Copy events and merge. Okay. I don't see a merge on there. Maybe I have to have some other MIDI data in here to be able to do that. So if anyone out there have the Force and can confirm this is the exact same arranger or what? I saw an ad video and he kind of went in on it, but I couldn't get the shit to do the same thing. I'm used to making my busiest part and then copy sequences and track mute want and don't want in each. See, that's kind of what I do, but I don't use the track mutes. I do the same thing. I make the busiest part. I consider that my hook section, and then I start breaking it down a little bit. I break it down a lot for the intro, you know, usually take out the drums, and then I break it down for the verse. I'll usually just take out like, I don't know, usually actually just my vocal, because I'll write my hook into my beat and I'll just take the vocal out and then there's my verse. So yeah, so instead of using mutes, man, I just copy that sequence for every section, rename it, and then just go into the grid and then delete the stuff that you would have muted. You know, it's pretty quick. So do you like effectively just make like do you just like make a really big long sequence and then just arrangement that way? Okay, there's a stream up. I'm gonna pause and wait. Okay, I think we're so going and use like the pad mutes and stuff, because if you're just muting out, if you make different sections and just mute out a track, what do you do for like build-ups or breakdowns for like good transitions? Or you just really go in and like mute out live, like drop out your snare and kicks and stuff? Alexander, totally agree that the MIDI should be kind of clips. Group of MIDI notes would really make it a great workflow, a bit like, I think you said FL and then jump. Dang, what's that icon, bro? BJ2 mil. Now it's broken. What's broken? Sometimes it's harder for me to like follow the train of thought of the chat sometimes because I'll be super late and behind on it. It's easy to move the loops around. Okay. Yo, Birth in the building. Welcome, be jamming. Be jamming. Have you put out the Did you put out an arranger video displaying some of those things? For those who are mad about PS5 pricings, we're talking about games now. Hey, I can't play games. This is why you guys aren't going live, because you're playing video games over there. Come on. Yeah, man, I can't. I don't even have the inclination to play, so I can't really talk. You know, everyone's different. But like I always say, when games get brought up, it's like music are my games, and I'm trying to go pro. So I gotta put as much time and effort into trying to figure that out, and I still need to actually dedicate some time to learning what the business world is all about. And just kind of wing this and I just move and find the channel growth out of mere willpower, you know. Did you see the new kid from Roland? Oh yeah, I saw the P6, man. I tried to click on it for a minute, but it was like, that's cool. My first thought was, why are they putting these lithium rechargeable batteries in these mini cheaper units, but like the SP couldn't get their lithium battery? Is there a good explanation for that? But yeah, the thing's kind of interesting, man. I'm not really trying to look at the video because it would just, I don't know, it would be a setback for me to go grab another sampler like that when I got one that does everything right here, you know. If I get more gear on this channel, it's gonna be like accessories and stuff that'll work with the MPC. That's kind of my mind frame from here on out. I mean, unless a new MPC comes out, or if a new machine comes out, I'd be interested in trying a new machine if they have some, if like the upgrades are intriguing enough. Yeah, so I'm just getting itchy now. Yeah, just do copies of the sequences, then edit each one. I'd rather delete notes than mute. I mean, how hard is that? I mean, I used to not even arrange, but that was the point where I never got anything done. Stream did freeze. I think it's good now, though. Sometimes on live situations, you want to use a sequence that has all the parts in mute, unmute, real time with FX tails. Yes, definitely bring that back. That's not correct. But what I think people are talking about is just, I don't know. There's a bunch of different things I think people are talking about, because now like the mutes are across sequences. 2.15, you could mute track 1 on sequence 1, and it's not, I believe it's not muted on sequence 2, right? The only way that works is with the audio tracks, is across all sequences, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I never use it that way for me to really be commenting too much with any certainty. Earliest was good. Yeah, I'm gonna explore those editing tools eventually. I do want to see if I can kind of create like I used to in Logic Pro. I think the main thing that got me off of Logic Pro and off computers was that there just wasn't an equivalent sampler to the MPC, or a way that I could work like I do on an MPC. So I was making beats like in my MPC 500 and then tracking them to Logic. Okay, so waiting on that. You said you're gonna put a video out though on the Arranger though, right? I feel they need to add mouse support in order for the Arranger to be decent. Yeah, for sure. I'll be down. I'll be ready to watch that Arranger video. Mouse support is there. This is the second time I heard this. It's just disabled. There's a keyboard, but not mouse. Hopefully they enable it in 3.0. Tony G, what's good? Mouse talk is crazy. Why is mouse talk crazy? I don't think it's that crazy. Yeah, because I think that's like a common misconception that people say, oh, those people who don't like to make beats on a computer is because they're trying to get away from the mouse. That's not what it is. I mean, it might be partly, but it's not fully. I don't need it though. I don't really need it. Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of crazy. Let's see. The battery inside can be easily disconnected, replaced in case of failure with time. I do prefer rechargeable AA's, though can be less convenient to recharge. Best would be to build in the AA chargers. Yeah, that would be great if you can just plug in and charge your AA's. So I get that point of that. Like with batteries eventually dying and all that, then it becomes more of a cost. So maybe that's the logic with putting those batteries in those cheaper units is, I don't know, if they die, then it's less of a loss. Okay, my mouse support is there. MK2 is the sweet spot for me. Mouse support is needed. Yeah, I always thought that, like HDMI would be interesting. That'd be cool to have your screen a little bit larger. Kind of want to play a record, but I also don't want to get demonetized. Yeah. I don't want to get demonetized. Let's see if we can avoid demonetization. Me. Just gonna skim. See if we can avoid YouTube ID content detection. Waiting on a keyboard because I think I need to spend some time doing original composition, and I don't really want to pull the Key 37 out. Yeah. What record was this? What was this on? I put that. There it is. editing in the Ranger can be faster. If you're talking about having a mouse to do that, just use the software. I see the P6 like a Swiss Army knife for on-the-go music. Pairs with an iPhone, iPad, or small synth setup. Serve as sound card with MIDI and sync. I/O MIDI controller for app sequencer. There you go. And what's the cost on that? Like, was it $199? I think all those little mini Iras are $199. You already sent them one back? Earliest? You had it already? I thought it just got announced today. How did you get that so fast and send it back? Must-haves in the next new MPC. Huh. I don't know, man. We talk about like hardware-wise. $219 for that, huh? Hardware-wise, shoot. I mean, I don't know. Like, I would really like the mini MPC, but I mean, this MPC is portable enough, is what I've realized. So, I don't know. Everything is excellent. I think stuff to the software, and I have some other things to talk about. I have more ideas, I think, that I could suggest. I mean, the MPC is still the greatest standalone device you can get now. I really want a de-esser because if I can get rid of more hardware pieces, my channel strip, then I'd probably use I don't know. I just like to be able to be portable. And if I could do what I do at home and have like a de-esser, I just don't. Ever since that first track I recorded, it was just swimming in like plosives and all that. Had to get the DBX channel strip that I have now. And that's what you're hearing right now. It's like, that's all. It's got a compressor and a de-esser on it. So, I mean, I'd like to see a de-esser and an MPC so I don't have to rely on it if I'm away from here and I want to do some recordings that I think would be decent enough. Well, I mean, most of my vocal recordings are trapped. A lot of background noise, I don't know. But I wouldn't need to have like power XLR inputs because there's some good. I mean, it could be nice, but not necessary. I mean, I don't know really. How much can you ask for? Just, I don't know. It's a hard one. Yeah, mini MPC for sure. That's be just a mini, smaller build. Yeah, so I don't know about that whole mini live MPC live mini. Seems like it is the unicorn. But yeah, something the size of the SP in a horizontal form. Same size, but like that would be cool. Same size pads, I wouldn't mind. I like those pads. I like finger drumming on them. The 404 Mark II. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was talking about the J6. So the P6, no, he was the earliest to get the P6. Oh, that's the joke? Or was he really? He was the earliest. That makes sense. Just early on all of it. Is that real or is it a joke? I don't know. It's funny regardless. I would be fine with the mini jack audio and MIDI if that would let a mini MPC lighter and low profile case happen. Yeah, I don't mind any of that stuff. You just, and they usually include those little jack adapters anyways. But since you also have USB, I really don't even use the MIDI. Maybe if I get like a desktop, if I get the Korg Mod Wave State desktop, then I'd be using it. But otherwise, that's what I love. Everything is standalone. I could do my whole production in here. I don't need anything other than a mic. And that would be ideal. It's like if I had the de-esser in here, I could just do everything stand alone, really, with no other pieces other than a mic and headphones. Cool, that's what's up, man. Do that video on the Ranger for sure. I use the computer as a sound module. Yeah, I did that, and you know, I wanted to figure out how to do that, and I did that. I had a video about it and all that, but I'm not really doing that. I could though. Might be a good idea, but I mean, I'm pretty set, like, on even just using, because I've got pretty much got all the instruments. I don't have all of them. I have all the ones that came out originally. Like, I've got Fabric XL and OPX4 and the strings. And so, you know, I'm pretty set, and my productions are pretty simple. So it's really, I don't know, I'm good, man. I'm good. New rolling device doesn't appeal to you. Yeah, it doesn't really draw too much. It doesn't draw me in too much. Like, I like to look at things. It's cool. I mean, like, but like 10 years ago would be something I'd maybe want when, I mean, these weren't out 10 years ago. Yeah, MPC standalone definitely is the best. Oh, you don't like all the instruments? Like to see an MKII speaker docking station. What would that look like? I'm not sure. Cool. Well, I'm gonna grab one of these because I'm kind of low on sleep, so I'm gonna grab another Pepsi. Be right back. Let's see. Really lower than that? Why can't I go full octaves without pressing the pad mix? Is that really as low as it goes? See, Find some vinyl. Plug-ins sound a bit cheap. Yeah, I guess I wasn't super impressed, but I think they work. I think my favorite was probably the strings, but yeah, you can get some pretty impressive stuff like on software. So I feel you, JJ Bing. Just trying to do everything in the MPC to want any other outside boxes. It's definitely doable. Are you gonna do vocals in there? So earlier said Roland has been sending the P6 out. Buddy got one. He let me use it. I sent it back to him. Yeah, I already saw a video. I definitely saw a bunch of videos already. Well, you know, the usual creators. More pro sounding instruments. Have you done any auto sampling yet of your? Have you tried that, Ben? With those 8 layers? The P6 with the compact IRAs is that you can't expect much from like firmware updates. Are you saying? And does lack sidechain, scales, lock, input effects. Yeah. So it's just like a cool little, I think maybe introductory kind of device into sampling, or maybe if sampling isn't your main thing, to just add some samples to what you're doing. Roland ain't updating anything. I mean, they've updated the 4.4 quite a bit. They do take quite a while though. Like from my perspective, it takes a year for like a really big update from them on that. It's pretty crazy how some companies, like how big they are and how much they actually put out. You know, Roland's got a lot of stuff that they put out, and like Korg and. Noticing a clear and clear divide between beat makers and instrumentalists each day. Y'all people that can play real instruments are so bougie. What? Let us play our controller sounding Rhodes and jazz basses in peace. Hey, well, I mean, if I could, I'd probably choose some like contact instruments over the MPC if I could have them inside here. Those, you know, quality. And I can't really talk about the other stuff. Like I've used some East-West stuff, which is kind of cool too. But my preference definitely is just to stay in the box. So if I can't really do it in the box, I might not be doing it. But no, like if Native Instruments put out like a complete control standalone device, I would want that for sure. And I would just go audio straight in. Or if and I heard there was a leak a little while back, or news of a leak. And I did see a website that had a little indicator of it. But the Astrolab, I just don't want the Astrolab, huge Astrolab. Like I want something that fits here. And so what was the leak? I didn't even mention it. That they might be coming out with a mini version. So if they had a mini version like 37 key, like their key step size, I would definitely grab that up. But I'm actually waiting on a mini keyboard because what Novation put out, I've always wanted to try the launch key since the MK3 came out, like the mini launch key. But with the MK4 that was recently announced, it actually has a lot of dope features that I think is probably makes it the dopest little mini keyboard. I don't know, Ben, if you looked at it. I know at this point you're probably not, because you're on the Key 37. But I know there was a little point where I seen you go through some mini controllers, like you got the Microfeek, right? And then you had gotten I think the Akai, what is it? MPK Mini Plus. And that was a solid keyboard. I had that one for a little bit, but I ended up getting rid of it. And I just think the way that this one is laid out with some of the, like, especially I got it for like the chords, the scale modes. It looks really good. I think the best on a MIDI controller so far, but I'll see if I end up using it very much. And it's kind of what I think, sadly, Pad Perform is lacking. Although I still think having Pad Perform, what MPC has in Pad Perform for like scales and chords, there still isn't like a standalone device that does that quite like this. Machine has something like that. I'm not sure if you can do custom progressions in Machine, because I had Machine Plus for a little while. But that's one topic I want to go over too, is like Pad Perform. Maybe I'll do that next stream, because it looks like there's some new stuff in there, so I need to explore it because I don't really know what's in there. But there are some things there's definitely some things that aren't being utilized in Pad Perform that could be made better. You know, like the reason why I'm getting the Novation, and it's supposed to be showing up any minute now, is that you have scales and chords, but then you also have like a knob that you can do to do strumming on it. So, and you can control how much is strumming. And then there's another knob, and it kind of works, I think, like the Keystep Pro. I don't know what the Keystep 37 version, where they had set up where you can do that. But you can add fifths and sevenths and like ninths. Like you can make a wider chord just by a turn of a knob. You can adjust how much. I don't know if it's called strum, but it's like called, there's another word for it. Anyways, yeah. I hope it's as good as it looks. Oh, let me look for a record. Chilling. I got some time. I got 40% on my phone. Maybe I could actually make something today, or actually make something. I haven't made anything in a long while. I've been slacking. The time I was creating the most is when I decided to go away from YouTube for like a month or two and just start writing songs. That was very key for me, because I was doing a song a month, and I'm not doing that anymore. It's probably been 2-3 months since I've uploaded a song, and I've been really procrastinating again. So I need to find my way back to doing that. That's what's most important to me. But also it's important to me, I don't know how I'm gonna figure it out, how to make this a business for myself, because I also want that. I'm not just money hungry or nothing. This is my this is just what I need to do. It's what I feel like I need to do, like all the time. I just have no passion for anything else. Trying to find me a career. I'm like, yeah, man, I've been doing the same thing, working the same job for the last almost 8 years. If you just looked at my job, I might not seem very ambitious, because I'm not really ambitious for a career other than doing this thing. No vocals, J-Bing? Why not? Have you not tried it before? I love doing vocals in this thing. I wouldn't do it any other way. All right, let's hope I don't get demonetized. These NPC 3 streams have been doing all right for me. As far as that monetization goes, it's been going up. Okay, let's go into... I don't think this is 3/4. This is definitely not. This was always this. I hold on to this record because I think the vocals are tight. But my I get kind of like I don't know how many of y'all are so skilled or like work in different time signatures. I know time signatures have been brought up in the stream in the MPC3 conversation and some of my streams too. But like I'm not even tripping because I never work outside of 4/4. But yeah, like there'll be those, like I never challenge myself too much with that because they'll come across like some dope samples that aren't in 4/4, and either I'll just give up on it or I might get lucky and be able to chop it in a way that I can put it into a 4/4 time signature. Let's see, what is time signatures even? I bet you someone out there could tell me what time signature this is. Honestly, I don't even know how to tap this out. I feel slow. Tips to get your hi-hat swinging better. I mean, I do my hi-hats. I do my hi-hats with time correct off, man. I think I did like a lo-fi swing tip video. Let's see if I can remember. I don't know what kind of genre, but like usually, you know, that's just bring the naturals. And a lot of times I have two different samples. Or I'll put the same sample on two different tracks and just slightly like here, for example. I've actually just, I think it's the same. It is the same sample, but I've just, for this one here, I've shortened the tail. So it sounds slightly different. And then like in the pad mixer, this one is slightly quieter than this one. And I just, it's kind of like a, but then I think if we turn on no repeat for this type of swing, I don't know if this is the sound you're going for. 1/8, and then I think it was like something like 58. So I mean, you have your swing setting in there, so that might be something you want to look at. Just experiment with that if that's what you want to do. Is just otherwise, I'm always like, my main thing is just getting the performance. So if I can do it, if it can come out my body, you know, my fingertips, then that's what I reach for, is just my ability or improving my ability. So, but I feel like that 58 swing is pretty decent. It kind of compares to if I was doing. But then again, I like doing it myself because then it's easier to implement two different pads. But you could also use, like if you go to the track edit and go to your global, utilize the different layers. And instead of putting these on two different pads, you could just have them on layers and then select the cycle. It'll cycle through them. Or you can press random and it'll cycle through the different layers. So that could help. So I don't know if that's exactly what you're looking for, or if you're aware that it's really swing that you're looking for, or is it more of getting your hats to sound more organic versus like computerized in that regard. So like using more samples, or at least using the same sample, but on different pads or different layers, and adjusting those layers to have slightly different, like messing with maybe the fine tuning of the pitch as well. You know, it helps take away from the computerized feel of just one sound being, you know, repeated. So, yeah, those are a few things you could do. We need a scaler. Yeah, if we could implement some of those things from scaler, some of the things I was talking about, like on the Novation keyboard that I'm waiting on, that would be great. I mean, my workaround always to get my chords sounding better with Pad Perform was to always go in to, I got to see where it's at on this here MPC3. I haven't looked for it at all. Yeah, here we go. So like if you're on the arrangement tab, let me just go do it real quick. Go. It's weird that, I don't know. Never mind. So go to some chords, go to progressions. Let's just input that. I'll go full level on it. Oops. See, what is this? Let's do that. Oh, you need to arm it. Let me try it one more time. Loosen the TZ up to 16. Okay, so once you got your chords, click on arrangement, then the pencil icon, and you got humanize. So this is what I always used to do. Haven't been doing stuff like this. I've been sampling more lately. But yeah, if you turn this down, and it gives you like a little description, you know, like if you go left, it says a small amount, very human. So I go for like the human readout, often ahead of the beat. And you go like after the beat. I like it to be a little bit ahead of the beat so that it sounds like it's strumming a bit. Humanize note length, humanize velocity. And apply, do it. Let's see what that did for me. For some reason, it doesn't look like it applied the velocity. Humanize velocity. Let's put this up a little bit. Let me try that again. Go less on that. So you gotta experiment with it, see what kind of results you come up with, but that's a little better than it just being just these straight chords, yeah. Gotta spend some time with it. That's not really amazing. How many seconds does it take to Look at that. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. It's 6, and those were 6 quick seconds. So we definitely need disc streaming for this. Let's try again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, some are faster than others. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Stop that. Okay, so yeah, whatever. Sorry to leave you with that beat there. I guess better than it just being dead air, but we'll get in this chat and then wrap this up. I don't really care for the pad performance thing in the MPC, partly because it's kind of limiting unless you put your own chords in there. Yeah. So you're saying, like, because I guess Scala already has a ton of chords, a lot more chords than pad perform does. Well, it would be cool if, like, since they have Splice integration, I don't know if Splice does MIDI stuff, but if they did have some sort of integration that you could get like more chords just wirelessly, that'd be cool. I don't rap, can't sing, I'm just making beats. Okay. Well, I mean, you said that if you're gonna do vocals, you do it in like a DAW, right? So I thought maybe you were doing some kind of vocals. Yeah, Ben, you know these chords a bit, huh? So and that's one thing I really like about the Novation, the Launch K MK4 series that I'm waiting on, is that I think it's set up like in a nice, like a lot of these, I got some flack because when I did the MPC Key 37 video, I was like, no other MPC has this feature, you know, where it's like the keyboard control. I don't think it was that video that wasn't what that video was, but it was like the thumbnail was like the MPC Key 37 is not equal to an MPC 1 plus a MIDI controller. Although the flag was that like you can do like there's scale modes in other MIDI controllers, and yeah, while that's true, I think the the Key 37 gives it to you in like a easily accessible way, and you know, you can go through the settings and change the key in a real nice way. And from what I see on the Novation MK4, it's set up to be able to do it super easy, like a lot better than the menu stuff that you have to do with like the MPK Mini Plus. So they got these Novations set up so you can just turn a knob, and then you can do, I think there's 3 different modes, and you see them on most keyboards. Not all of them have all the modes. One of them is where, and I don't like this mode, the way they have it. So your whole key bed is in key, but if there's a key that isn't in the scale, it just it just adds that key to be the same tone. So you have keys with the multiple keys with the same pitch. I don't like that. And then it has the filter scale one that the MPC key 37 and 61 have, where it just takes out the notes and then it leaves the keys that are not in this scale empty, so you don't hear any tones when you press them. So I think that's the most valuable one, because that's going to help you learn how to play. And then it has one where it's easy scale, and it just puts all the notes on the white keys. So I think I like how that's laid out a lot better than like the MPK Mini Plus. I feel like you got to dive in there. Maybe I'm wrong, or just from memory. You gotta go through menus and stuff and like scroll, and then it's not fun. So, right, I'm trying to see where this keyboard is at. Check my my Zounds delivery notice. I think the MPC is the best sequencer too, for sure. I wish they would give us warp markers. Can we get some tips to make the hi-hats? I'd read that. Hopefully those were helpful. Musician's Paradise. Yeah, I've definitely grabbed up some of those chords before. Yeah, with the chord packs, you have to convert them, right? Like I've got some Unison MIDI chord packs. Like I bought like the gospel and like jazz chords and stuff, but you do have to convert those. So yeah, you're a step ahead with like Musician's Paradise stuff, because you can just put them in a folder. Ray Maestro, what's up? I don't own one of these. Why do y'all all call them drum programs instead of instruments? Well, no, there's different types of I don't know how to describe them all as a whole. There's different ways. There's instrument programs in here, which are called key group programs. Then you have drum programs. The key group programs are set up so that they have your samples pitched across the keys, right? And then the drum programs are set up for the pads, so you can finger drum or sample chop. So that's a whole different thing. And in a combination, you can use all that to make your beats, make your music. But there's also plug-in instruments, which is different from key group instruments, because they're Akai stuff, and you don't have access to edit any of that. Well, you do have access to adjust them and all that, but key groups are actual samples that users can make themselves and create and sell if they want to. Yeah, so this keyboard it might be here. within the next 20 minutes or 2 hours. How to link up with a video on how to link up with the MPC. Okay, I think you're asking Ben on how to do that with Scalar. I've done it once. I've got Scalar on here. Let me see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this real easy. But I'm sure, I bet Ben has got a video. Where is the preference button gone for real? I thought the wasn't preferences down here before, or am I tripping? Because now I got to go over to the second thing. Let me turn Bluetooth on. Nah, I'm probably not going to do this. Yeah, I don't even see it in here, though. I think you got to make like your iPad discoverable or something somehow. I did it on my live too, but... Oh, there it is. Rolls, iPad, pair. I didn't even do anything on my iPad. It just popped up. Is it paired? Come on. Okay, pair. Okay. Okay, so I said failed to connect. Huh. Oh, that's a fail. I don't know what the Samsung TV is or something. It's not even in my house. I don't want this here.